Well, a very warm welcome to a joyous occasion. Graduation ceremonies are a joyous occasion. We're celebrating the successes of our graduands who are going to come up on the stage, going to pass in front of the kneeler. They won't be kneeling this time, they'll be standing. I will cap them and they will leave the stage as graduates of our university. They'll be joining a congregation of about 210,000 graduates who graduated from the University of Strathclyde. After we've capped the graduates, I will say a few words, and I'll try and keep it under 3.5 hours, to let you out for lunch. But after I've said a few words about the university, we will have an academic procession as well. So the stage party will leave, will be followed by the graduates, and we'll walk up to the Learning and Teaching building, and we'll have some refreshments and some socialising up there afterwards, and celebrating with the graduates again. So today is a joyous occasion. You're here to have fun with your loved ones when they graduate. So please do show your appreciation when they come up on stage. Let them know that you're there to appreciate what they've done. Within reason. We have had some extreme examples, but please do make this a joyous occasion. I now formally declare this congregation open. I will ask Professor Debbie Willison, our Vice Dean Academic for the Faculty of Science, to introduce the science graduands, and then Professor Julia Race, our Vice Dean Academic from the Faculty of Engineering, to introduce our graduands from the Faculty of Engineering. Thank you very much.
Associate Principal and Executive Dean, in the name of the University and by the authority of Senate, I present to you these students. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy for Research in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics, Maha Al-Sharari. Matthew Byster. Michael Thomas Anthony Doherty. Rebecca Ann McKinley. Ewan McTaggart. Andrew James Mitchell. James Daniel Riley. For the degree of Master of Science in Actuarial Science, Victoria Dangana. In Applied Statistics, Emily Burns. In Quantitative Finance, Isabella Antonia Ross. For the degree of Master of Mathematics in Mathematics and Statistics, Sean Cranker. Ryan Kirkpatrick. Xander Loney. Catherine Louise Newell. Amy Catherine Sutherland. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Data Analytics, Scott Christopher McGee. Alina Shad. In Mathematics, Connell Brad Anderson. Harry Coleman. Hayden David Cook. Eve Alice Copsey. Dahlia George. Hannah Gourley. Valentino Grifa. Olivia Jackson. Iona Heather Maxwell. Bethany April Spark Whitworth. In Mathematics and Computer Science, Martin Hindle. James Thomas Kerrigan. Hamish Stewart McNaught. Blair Campbell O'Neill. Matthew William Colin Polland. In Mathematics and Physics, Matthew Brady. Lewis Fitzpatrick. Ui Nuang. Martin James O'Donnell. In Mathematics and Statistics, Emma Catherine Carragher. Ying Ting Chen. Neve Donaldson. David William Fitzsimmons. Ji Wei Fu. Kimberly Helen Elizabeth Gunn. Yimin Lei. Lik Sing Lu. Margaret Mary McAleer. Morgan Francis McCall. Rachel Margaret McConnell. Owen McGee. Jenny May D. McGuinness. Lauren Muir. Darren O'Hare. Ting Yue Pang. Andrew Porter. Jake Rice. Sophie Todd. Jen Chang. Hao Chong Shui. In Mathematics with Teaching, Jing Lei Hu. Eva Daisy Lundy. Jonathan Snedden. In Mathematics with Teaching, International, Atika Yahya Abdallah Al-Hashimi. In Mathematics, Statistics and Accounting, Lauren Anderson. Louise Boyd. Vary Crooks. Anna Elizabeth Edwardson. Emma Elizabeth Hewitt. Jay Hill. Anna King. Didem Joanna Meres. Alana Wilkie. In Mathematics, Statistics and Business Analysis, Jinan Talib Salim Al-Hamdani. Hannah Flynn. Max Masterton. Sammy Ralston. Gregor Stott. Neil Donald Watson. Nathan Thomas Wilson. In Mathematics, Statistics and Economics, Cameron Crooks. Ollie Fairlam. Niall Owen Holman. Melissa Ann Kerr. Bradley Layden. Ewan Alexander Smith. In Mathematics, Statistics and Finance, Sarah Blake. Nathan Breen. Hannah Jean Dobson. Rai Singh Gosal. Rihanna Isaac. Sophie Jenkins. Amy Maloney. Adrian Muir. Sven Musselin. Serianne Lavinia Eve Rimmer. Priya Roma Kaur Verde.
Associate Principal and Executive Dean, in the name of the University and by the authority of Senate, I present to you these students. For the degree of Doctor of Engineering in Offshore Renewable Energy, Macaulay Versey. In Renewable Energy Marine Structures, Innes Murdo Black. Anna Ermakova. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, for research in the Department of Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Kwang Sik Chung. Abdulli Abdul Karim Deya. For research in the Department of Naval Architecture, Ocean and Marine Engineering, Alessandro Annoni. Javier Contreras Lopez. Song Min Ha. Haralampos Sumpris. Injun Yang. Xuan Rui Yu. Guang Wei Zhao. For the degree of Master of Philosophy, for research in the Department of Naval Architecture, Ocean and Marine Engineering, Yin Hua Liu. For the degree of Master of Science in Advanced Naval Architecture, Subin George Alex. Nikolaos Sarakanidis. In Marine Engineering, Hariharan Jayakumar. Sai Kiran Pusapati. Karan Singh Soki. In Marine Engineering, with specialisation in autonomous marine vehicles, Evran Kagan Gursel. In Ship and Offshore Technology, Luis Eduardo Gonzague Bermeo. In Sustainable Engineering, Offshore Renewable Energy, Steve McQueen Galloway. For the degree of Master of Engineering in Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Konstantinos Atsidis. Thomas Stefan Billet. Thomas Michael James Day. Ioannis Charles Falconakis. Aris Flegkas. Panagiotis Gialelis. Ewan James Hill. Demetrios Kofopoulos. Alistair Thomas McPherson. Ola Rosha McKenty. Antonis Michael. Konstantinos Matroulias. Stavros Morales. Zara Shah. Eric James Weir. Harris Wingfield Hayes. In naval architecture with high-performance marine vehicles, Luis Aroca Salom. Callum Bell. Antoni Marek Viduruk. Thomas James Goodman. Mark Cameron Hager. Magnus Ian Sangster McIntosh. Jessica Morris. Christian John Francis Purnett. In naval architecture with ocean engineering, Cameron Christopher Clark. Max Greg Summers. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Rory Ian Cardwell. Keir Kelso Scott. Robbie Martin. In naval architecture with high-performance marine vehicles, Zoe Thea Gall. Lewis Ramsey McAllister. Ria Pinto. In naval architecture with ocean engineering, Jongmin Ko. Ben Thompson. Okay. Fiona. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Statistics, Ruyo Wu. Jing Zhang.
So there's a few voices that had warmed up there individually and maybe 2 or 3 at a time. But I think if we get together collectively, we can give a huge collective cheer of appreciation for the class of 2024. thought that was a flyby for a minute there. Well done on that noise. Congratulations. I don't have a noise meter to get the decibels there, but that was pretty impressive. I think that's probably the loudest one I've been at this week. So well done to you, and well done to all the graduates now. You've shown great commitment, resilience, adaptability and determination to arrive at this day. And you're graduating in a very special year for Strathclyde. This is our Diamond Jubilee year, marking 60 years since the award of the Royal Charter by the late Queen Elizabeth II, which conferred university status on our institution. And through this Royal Charter, what was the Royal College of Science and Technology became the University of Strathclyde, the first university to be established in Scotland for almost 400 years, and Britain's first technological university, and also the 8th oldest university in the UK. For those of you who've just graduated, you've done this in the presence of your loved ones, and it's a moment of great pride. Your family, friends, and supporters have undoubtedly played a crucial role in your journey. So, staff and graduates, let's take a moment to appreciate the friends and family who've supported you to get to this point. Now, you can't fail to notice the brightly coloured robes on stage here, and this indicates our academic staff. They're wearing their colours from their degrees, so the Strathclyde colours are clear from those who have graduated today. These colours represent degrees from other universities where our staff have been trained, but they have worked tirelessly to provide an exceptional education and student experience, and your success in graduating reflects their commitment. So graduates and supporters, please show your appreciation for our staff. Okay, so that's the end of the round of applauses until we get to the end of the speech, unless you feel a spontaneous need to clap at some point, which you're free to do, of course. Once we've concluded this ceremony, we will leave the hall in an academic procession, and that signifies that the graduates are now full members of the Strathclyde academic community. And I said already that this number is about 210,000 graduates worldwide. And as esteemed members of this community, you join a long line of alumni who've gone on to excel in their chosen fields. And this includes notable names such as physician, missionary and explorer David Livingstone, entrepreneurial innovator and pioneer of the television, which you may have heard of, John Logie Baird, Lady Eilish Angelini, former Lord Advocate of Scotland, the former leader of the Scottish Conservative Party, Baroness Annabel Goldie, who's sitting in the front row today, an entrepreneur, philanthropist and long-time supporter of Strathclyde, Sir Tom Hunter. Strathclyde was founded in 1796 during the Scottish Enlightenment. This was through the bequest of Professor John Anderson, who believed in knowledge for all for the greater good, and he wished to establish a place of useful learning. And we've remained faithful to this founding principle, which continues to guide us today as we strive to make a positive impact on society and the world. We're a research-intensive institution committed to creating new knowledge and understanding to tackle the challenges of our time. And through our groundbreaking research, we're contributing to a better world. And that's not just a self-promoted claim. In the recent Research Excellence Framework in 2021, this is the UK government's system for assessing research quality, almost 90% of Strathclyde's research was assessed as world-leading or internationally excellent. Strathclyde also had the second highest impact quality profile in Scotland, demonstrating the effect our research has on everyday lives in the real world. And our research and impact are wide-ranging. Our scientists and researchers are leading the development of innovative technologies that will facilitate the transition from fossil fuels to the clean, sustainable energy sources such as wind, solar and hydrogen. And these will power our future world and tackle climate change. We're developing new drugs using new digital manufacturing processes. We'll provide cheaper, more effective treatments in the fight against cancer, kidney diseases and inflammatory diseases, while also helping our health services evolve to face the challenges of health and social care in the changing demographics of the 21st century. And through our focus on entrepreneurial education, Strathclyde Inspire, we're helping students and staff to create new businesses with sustainability in mind, which are creating jobs and supporting economic growth. We're leading the revitalisation of this part of the city through the Glasgow City Innovation District, which is bringing companies together, both large and small, to work with the university to create new ideas, technologies and solutions to a range of problems across key research clusters: health tech, fintech, 5G, industrial informatics, space and quantum technologies. And a little known fact is that outside of California, Glasgow has the second highest capability for producing small-scale satellites anywhere else in the globe. So we really have attracted high-tech industries and activities to this region, and much of this is based within our Technology and Innovation Centre. And in the near future, we'll be creating another innovation centre named in honour of one of our most successful alumni, businessman Dr. Charles Wang. And Charles donated £50 million to Strathclyde, an extremely generous gift and our largest ever given in recognition of the role that this university had in his success. The majority of this gift will be used to transform the former Students' Union building on John Street into a new key element of the university's technology and innovation zone, allowing more businesses to co-locate with the university and improve productivity, develop world-class talent, research and technology, and accelerate inclusive economic growth. We're a major player in a second innovation district, the Advanced Manufacturing Innovation District Scotland, which is out at Glasgow Airport, where we operate the National Manufacturing Institute Scotland, which is helping to grow Scotland's manufacturing capabilities as part of the fourth industrial revolution, or Industry 4.0. And this will see digitalisation, automation and artificial intelligence transform the sector and provide huge economic and employment opportunities. We're also partners in the Medicines Manufacturing Innovation Centre, which is across the road from the National Manufacturing and the National Manufacturing Institute, where we're revolutionising the modern manufacture of medicines using new digitised approaches. And we're also creating and part of a new centre of excellence in oligonucleotide-based medicines. Strathclyde also works to inform public policy on national economic strategy, education, productivity and workplace strategies. And through our various research institutes, we're having a significant impact. Through our Centre for Sustainable Development, our globally minded staff and students are working co-creating solutions with our global partners across academia, civil society and the public and private sectors to secure real-world impact and to tackle the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Indeed, earlier this month, the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings for 2024 placed Strathclyde at joint 25th in the world out of just under 2,000 universities, and fourth in the UK for our positive contribution to achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And in pursuing our vision, we understand the value of successfully working in partnership with business, government and the third sector to make a difference, and we extend our global reach through academic partnerships with the likes of Stanford, MIT, NYU, Caltech, Tsinghua, Nanyang Technological University and the National University of Singapore, to name but a few. Last month, we also announced exciting initiatives to expand our teaching activities, and later this will be followed by research and innovation activities in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, where in Riyadh we're partnering with Princess Noura bint Abdul Rahman University, the largest female university in the world with 35,000 students. And here we'll be helping the upskilling of women in the kingdom in technology, engineering, science, business and humanities. Our progress and efforts in all of these areas have been greatly recognised in recent years with a host of awards. In 2019, we became the only university to win the Times Higher Education UK University of the Year twice, having first won in 2012. We've also been named Business School of the Year, Workplace of the Year and Research Project of the Year in recent times. And in June last year, Strathclyde was named Entrepreneurial European University of the Year in the Triple E Awards. Strathclyde was named Scottish University of the Year 2024 and runner-up as UK University of the Year to Imperial College London in the inaugural Daily Mail University League tables. And Alistair McCall, who used to compile the rankings for the Sunday Times Good University Guide and League table, who now compiles the rankings for the Daily Mail, describes Strathclyde as the epitome of a progressive 21st century university, seeking to shape and change society for the better through the pursuit of educational excellence and social change, and still a place of useful learning, just as it set out to be more than 200 years ago. And earlier this year, we collected our 4th Queen's Anniversary Prize, our 3rd consecutive in the recognition of our research, innovation and entrepreneurialism in photonics, the science of light. And these awards reflect the quality and breadth of activities across the university, but I'd like to now just highlight some activities from the faculties of Science and Engineering which are represented today. So Dr. Kim Kavanagh, who's on stage with us today from Mathematics and Statistics, has been invited by Public Health Scotland to join the Scottish Government Expert Group on Cervical Cancer Elimination. Chaired by Professor Anna Glazier, Dr. Kavanagh's work evaluating the impact of the HPV vaccination provided the evidence base for the vaccine and cervical screening policy in Scotland and contributed to the international evidence base. Holly Black, who is pursuing a PhD in the Department of Naval Architecture and Ocean Marine Engineering, or NIOME, won the Young Researcher Award in 2024 in the waterborne category in the Transport Research Arena Vision Awards. And Emeritus Professor Dracos Vassilos, also from NIOME, was given an honorary Transport Research Arena Award for his lifelong contribution to advancing maritime safety. Researchers led by Stella Pitharuli from Civil and Environmental Engineering I have to put my teeth back in this morning, are participating in a 2.6 million geo-battery project that is trialling a first-of-its-kind system to see if waste heat from data centres can be stored in disused mines and used to heat homes. With a quarter of the UK homes sitting above former mines, potentially 7 million households could have heating needs met in this way. And Professor Damien Corrigan from the Department of Pure and Applied Chemistry was named Academic Entrepreneur of the Year at the Praxis Oral KE Awards for his exceptional efforts in translating research into practical applications. Professor Corrigan has founded 2 spin-out companies, Orium Diagnostics and Microplate DX, which address global healthcare challenges. And we also saw several of our colleagues recognised with awards, including MBEs for Professors Roma Maguire and Yvonne Perry, an OBE for Professor Gavin Halbert. Professor Glyn Winscale was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society, and Professors Apala Manjamdar and Keith Matheson as Fellows of the Royal Society of Edinburgh. And these examples are just a small set of the wide-ranging activities and successes from our university in the last year. And today is a day to look forward and the beginning of a new chapter in your lives, where you will take the knowledge and skills you've acquired during your time here to pursue and realise your aspirations. And as you forge your new careers, the university's values of being people-orientated, innovative, collaborative, ambitious and bold will stand you in good stead. In recent years, the world has been shaken by the coronavirus pandemic, while the cost of living crisis and armed conflicts around the globe continue to create uncertainties. And of course, we must tackle the biggest challenge of all, the climate emergency. These challenges demand solutions, and as graduates of Strathclyde and future leaders of our society, you have a responsibility to use your talents and your education to make a positive impact on the world. And whether you go on to pursue careers in business, science, engineering, politics, or any other field, remember that you have the power to effect change, to inspire others, and to shape the course of history. But with power comes responsibility. And I urge you to never lose sight of the values that have guided you thus far: integrity, humility, and empathy. These are qualities that will set you apart as you navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. And as you step out into the world, you carry with you the knowledge and skills that you've acquired during your time at our institution. But more than that, you carry the spirit of Strathclyde, a spirit of innovation, collaboration, and excellence. Strathclyde is an institution where freedom of thought is encouraged and valued, an institution exemplified by tolerance and inclusivity. We know that you will continue to demonstrate Strathclyde's socially progressive values, an ethos of tolerance, pluralism, and a desire to make a positive difference. And I'm confident you're going to do this, because as you go out into the world, you're equipped with that most valuable asset, knowledge. The Strathclyde degree that you now hold in your hands is your passport to success as you rise to meet the challenges ahead. And as you embark on this new chapter of your lives, I encourage you to continue learning, to embrace new challenges, and remember that pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey, and that success is not measured by what you achieve, but by the impact that you make on the world around you. So it's with immense pride that we see you graduate, and in conclusion, I'd like to congratulate you once again on this momentous achievement. The University of Strathclyde has equipped you with the tools you need to thrive in the years ahead, and I have no doubt that you will make us proud. So go forth with confidence, with purpose, and with the knowledge that you're capable of great things. So once again, thank you very much, and please do enjoy the rest of your day. So that draws us to an end of the formal proceedings. Yesterday I was doing a graduation ceremony. I had Bayesian statistics to say about 10 times, and the teeth were really out at that point. So today was not too bad in terms of getting through without too many mistakes. Hopefully you've enjoyed the ceremony. The weather's good. We are going to have a procession now, so please be upstanding in a second once we've done a small formal bit of business, and then we'll march out of the procession, out of the hall. So I now declare this ceremony formally closed and invite you to join us at the Teaching and Learning Building.